So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 15th Union Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I'm Jim McLaughlin, class of 1993, and it's an honor and privilege to be up here as Director of Athletics presiding over this. This has always been a very special day for the college as we celebrate our past and honor some of the most talented student athletes and teams in the history of Union College. And I want to thank everybody for joining us here today. Before we begin, I want to thank a couple of individuals. This is obviously incredible to see nearly 350 people here in attendance, and that doesn't happen without the support of staff. So I want to recognize Lauren Almy and Steve Sheridan for the incredible job that they've done. So I've shared with many of the inductees that the induction into the Union Athletics Hall of Fame is the highest honor that we can bestow on our former coaches, administrators, and student athletes. And you really need to think about the significance of this achievement. We've been competing in organized athletics since the mid-1800s. We've had more than 160 classes graduate since that time, and there have been thousands and thousands of student athletes that competed for the Garnet. So with this class, there are only 95 individuals and 17 teams, to be precise, about the number of individuals that are in this Hall of Fame. So a significant achievement. So congratulations to all of you. Today we will induct 7 new members in the Hall of Fame, and we will also induct 2 very deserving teams. And I want to give you a little bit of an idea of the talent that is here in this room today. We have over a dozen All-Americans here. We have Union Basketball's all-time leading scorer and the only player to score more than 2,000 points in their career. One of only 2 4-time All-Conference first-team selections in softball program history. The very first All-American in the history of Union College baseball team. A 3-sport standout for indoor track and field, lacrosse, and soccer teams who competed in 7 NCAA championships during her time here and earning all-conference honors in every single season. A 2-sport athlete, becoming the only player ever at Union to earn All-American honors in multiple sports. A 4-time All-American and a national champion in swimming. A 4-year starter and a team captain on the gridiron, as well as multiple All-American honors in track and field that still holds the Liberty League shot put record more than 20 years after graduation. We have one of the most successful teams in Union College athletics history, with a field hockey team finishing with a nearly perfect record at 17-1, and a football team that had one of only 4 10-0 perfect seasons in the 138-year history of the program. So congratulations to you. And as I look around the room this afternoon, not only do I see incredible athletes in their respective sports, but I also see entrepreneurs, doctors, teachers, engineers, attorneys, and countless leaders in their field. And I see coaches that were teachers, mentors, and educators to these individuals that taught these individuals just as much about the game of life as they did their respective sport. No surprise, because we're here with men and women of Union, and it's a testament to the quality of the education that we have all received at Union. And the inductees sitting here today continue to reinforce the points that I make to our current student athletes, that you can have it all here at Union. You can be a great student, you can be a great athlete, and achieve at the highest level in all arenas. So once again, thanks everyone for being here. We're looking forward to a great program. I'm grateful that our president, David Harris, has joined us as well to celebrate this wonderful achievement for all. So please welcome President David Harris.
Good afternoon, folks. Great to be with you. So it's reunion weekend. So I've been doing a lot of events, talking to a lot of groups. And I was thinking about this event, and I reflected on a breakfast I had with an alum I can't remember when, but it was pre-COVID. My whole life is divided into those two periods, right? I know it was before COVID. We sat at breakfast. He talked about union and how he wanted it to be stronger. And he said to me, you know, I think it'd be stronger if you got rid of athletics. It's people like that who would also probably wonder, why are we having events like this? They'd wonder, why is the president spending his time in an event like this? When I thought about how I was going to respond to that alum, and you have to know I have inside voices and outside voices, so I had to keep the inside voice inside, I said, you know, you have to think about what it is we do at Union College to evaluate that. And for me, it was that vision statement I talk about all the time. I said, you know, what we do is we develop every student to lead with wisdom, empathy, and courage in ways large and small, now and across multiple tomorrows. That's actually what we accomplish here at Union College. It happens in the classroom for our students, as it happened for all of you because you are student athletes. You learned how to learn. You learned how to question what you were learning. You learned to push yourselves and develop those competencies that will allow you to be lifelong learners and achievers across multiple tomorrows. But the reality, and what this alum did not understand, that it also happened on the fields, happened on the courts, happened in the rinks, and the other places where you played. I was reminded of that this morning. So I'm a proud college president, but I'm also a proud dad of a daughter who's an athlete, and this is a minor dad brag. Her hockey team, girls hockey team, won the state championship this year and went on to nationals in South Dakota. One of her teammates, yeah, that's good for the girls. These girls are also exceptional students. They listed those who were honor roll in almost all of the team. Now, one of her teammates was over last night for a sleepover. They stayed up late. They watched Happy Gilmore. I've never seen it, but I think I should watch it sometime. Very late, as 13, 14-year-olds do. But what did they do this morning? This morning on a Sunday, these girls got themselves up on their own at 8 a.m. because they had plans to meet together with a teammate and her brother at the rink to shoot around. Not because they're in season, not because they have to, because they're developing those competencies, those habits that make them successful athletes and will make them successful people. I see that all the time when I talk to faculty about our student athletes. They talk about how strong they are academically. They talk about the time management skills. And then that one piece that the alum didn't appreciate is that the GPAs of our student athletes are not down here where our students are here. They tend to be at or even above what you see for folks who are not participating in athletic competition. So folks, today we are here to celebrate you, the latest inductees in the Union College Hall of Fame, for what you've accomplished in athletics, but more so for all of the ways you've embodied this vision, the vision for this college we all hold so dear. Thank you, congratulations.
President Harris, thanks again for being here and for all your support of athletics and everything going on at Union as well. So it now gives me great pleasure to begin the induction ceremony with our first inductee. She was a dual threat at the plate and in the circle for the Union softball team from 2003 to 06. She was one of the first two All-Americans in the history of Union softball and was a part of some of the greatest teams in program history, with Union posting a 113-25 record with 4 NCAA tournament appearances in 4 years. Please turn your attention to the video screens as we hear more about our first inductee, Abby Arceneaux.
One of only 3 All-Americans in Union softball history, Abby Arceneaux was a dominating force both at the plate and in the circle for Union 2003 to 2006. Arceneaux burst onto the scene as a first year, hitting .408 while also boasting a 0.78 earned run average with the way Upstate Collegiate Athletic Association Rookie of the Year honors. And then upgraded to CAA Player of the Year honors as a sophomore, hitting .376 and posting a 13-2 record with 108 strikeouts and 99 2/3 innings. She became one of the first two All-Americans in program history as a junior, earning a spot on the NFCA third team. As a senior, she earned another All-Region honor and hit .474 while going the entire season without striking out once in a team-leading 137 at-bats. One of only two four-time All-Conference first-team selections in program history and a three-time NFCA All-Region honoree, Arceneaux was Union's single-season record holder in both hits at the plate with 65 in 2006 and strikeouts in the circle with 141 in 2005. Finishing her career with a 57-15 record and 1.29 ERA in the circle, she remains Union's all-time leader in strikeouts, shutouts, and complete games, while also ranking second in wins, ERA, and innings pitched. The .411 career hitter also ranks third in career hits, fourth in runs, and sixth in batting average at the school. Arceneaux's time on campus coincided with the only 4 NCAA tournament appearances in program history as well, with Union amassing a combined record of 113 and 25 in her 4 seasons. Arceneaux also spent 1 year as assistant coach at Union under Jordan Stevens in 2010, earning Liberty League Coaching Staff of the Year honors. That team tied the program's single-season wins record, first set during Abby's senior season, with a 32-8 mark that concluded with Liberty League and ECAC upstate tournament titles.
The day I went to watch her play in high school, she maybe gave up 1 game. And they won like 10-0, and she was really not happy that she gave up. I really didn't like this. She's got a great attitude. She's a competitor. She really made her mad. I said, she's good. She made All-American, I guess, probably at pitcher, but it could have been at first base too. And she probably was as good at first base as she was as a pitcher. The day she got here, Brian and I became better coaches. Right, as soon as she walked out here, and her expectations were literally to win every game and knock you up hits, and she pretty much kept to that. Right. It was funny. Each year she would have one bad game where I don't know what happened to her. She wasn't herself, but that was it. And you could see it early on in that game, and then I knew, okay, it's gone. Now she's going to pitch great the rest of the year. Her senior year, she batted leadoff, so she had the most at-bats on it. And she didn't strike out her senior year. So it would be an 0-2 count, and we might be beating the team 8-0 or something like that, and she wasn't going to give in. She wasn't going to allow herself, that pitcher to strike her out. And again, that just talks to her attitude as a player and how competitive she was.
Abby Arceneaux, congratulations on your induction to Cagianello. Your mentality, your knowledge, your competitiveness is great. You were a tremendous pitcher. You had great pitches. You trained hard in practices. You were always prepared for games. Just working with you during games was a lot of fun. When you weren't pitching, you were playing first. You were playing third, wherever you were playing, you were there. I remember in Florida when one of our first time down there, we lost the post game, and I think the majority of the team was okay with the outcome. But you were angry. That was good enough for you. I remember talking to you after, and I knew right then that the next 4 years were going to be pretty special. We had a great freshman class. You did a great job bringing some outstanding players. We had 4 years in NCAA tournament. You came so close twice that year at Core Division A. Your impact you had on the program was tremendous. Johnny, you did a great job. You raised a tremendous daughter. Raised a tremendous athlete. Abby said we put in those 14 years in softball at Union College, and you were by far the finest, most competitive player that I've ever had the opportunity to coach you. So congratulations. This is well deserved.
Abby Arceneaux, welcome to the Union Athletics Hall of Fame.
All right, I'm batting lead off. First off, congratulations to both teams and individual inductees doing honor here today. I'm grateful to share this day with so many talented human beings, many that during my time at Union I was able to see on the court or field firsthand. Your careers speak for themselves. Thank you to the Hall of Fame Committee for choosing me as part of the 2024 class. I'm very proud to join the accomplished people that are already in and to be chosen when there are so many deserving people that have worn a union uniform. In 2017, our 2003 softball team was inducted, and I was able to watch as my teammate and one of the best all-around athletes I've ever seen, Erica Eisenhut, was inducted. In 2019, another teammate of mine, Julie Goronsky, joined Union's Hall of Fame. The fact that 2 of my classmates are Hall of Famers speaks to the incredible talent I was surrounded by during my 4 years, a list that will only continue to grow. My freshman year, we started out with 11 newcomers. We were a special recruiting class. We didn't just have talent, we had that winning mentality. That year, with 7 first-year starters, we knocked the defending national champions out of the NCAA tournament, a day I will never forget. By our senior year, there were 8 of us left. For 4 years, we showed up day in and day out to practice and games and just competed, won a ton of games, and made 4 NCAA appearances and enjoyed playing softball. Our last Florida trip, we left undefeated at 10-0, just to be stuck in the airport overnight. Walking through the airport, I remember our coaches saying, "Seniors, let's head to the hotel bar." Well, the hotel bar was closed, and we were left to wonder just what might have been. To the 8 girls I spent 4 amazing years with, Erica, Beth, Julie, Katie, Steph, Jackie, and Bish, thank you. I wouldn't be up here today without each of you. To my catcher, Alicia, 10 years you caught for me. That's a lot of games and a lot of pitches. I've heard people say a pitcher is only as good as their catcher makes them, and you surely had a huge part in making me look good, so I share this honor with you. To my co-pitcher, Jackie, it was just you and me for almost every game during our 4 years. You made me better by just being you. I had plenty more incredible teammates during my time, too many to name, but each directly contributed to the success we had on the field. Thank you to every single one of you that I was blessed to share my career with. Melissa Mara, she was my shortstop in high school and ended up coming to play basketball at Union. She promised me if I came here, I would get another year with her on the softball field, and she kept that promise. It was so long ago, but after meeting Coach Brown, it didn't take much longer for me to make a decision. He told me I would be able to pitch and hit right away, and that we would have a chance to put Union on the map for softball with the recruits that Coach Speck and him had committed. In my mind, that was it. He didn't lie, and we did. I played for 2 coaches that'll be in Union's Hall of Fame, Brownie and Speck. My time at Union wasn't always the easiest, but those 2 men made sure softball always was. They created an environment where we could thrive. I hardly remember a time when softball wasn't fun, minus the days Coach Speck broke out the sandbags. That was not fun, nor were the next 2 days. But other than that, our team always wanted to be there and never felt like a job, and that's large in part to the culture Coach Brown and Coach Speck fostered, and the quality people that they brought into the program. Since graduating, I've been around many different college coaches and programs, and one thing I know for sure is I would pick those 2 over any of them. They gave me 4 years of incredible softball memories that no other coach could match, and the opportunity to do what I loved. Thank you for all the time and sacrifices you made being college coaches. It's sometimes a thankless job, but today it's not. Speck, I know you're watching and wanted to be here, but to the both of you, congratulations on over 60 years combined working in collegiate athletics. That's a remarkable accomplishment and well-deserved retirement. The amount of athletes' lives you've impacted is vast, and I'm grateful to be just one of them. To my parents and family, I wish there was a way to thank you in a manner that would show you just how much I appreciate and value everything you've done and continue to do for me. I'm still working on that. You both know how much I love you. I would never have been the player I was if it weren't for my dad, and I wouldn't have made it through all the power struggles I had with my dad without my mom. We still have those power struggles. I love softball because I was able to share it with both of you and just wanted to make my family proud. To my little sister, Anna, you were forced to come to the ball field to watch all my games. I'm lucky I got to spend my post-graduation years living vicariously through you as you followed in my footsteps. Since graduating, softball has continued to play a major part in my life. While coaching college, I met my match in someone equally competitive and passionate about the sport he coached, basketball, and he has bought in fully to our softball family. Thankfully, because there's no doubt our little firecracker Bryn will be a star on the field. So thank you, Shay, for supporting me and diving into the coaching world of softball. An athletic director's job is never ending. Jim has been here since my playing days, and over the years has seen some incredible accomplishments come from the athletics department. He has a big part in each of them. Thank you for your continued dedication to your coaches and the student athletes here at Union. I wanted to end by acknowledging the athletic administration and support staff. I never truly understood how many people it takes to make an athletic department operate until I started working in collegiate athletics. I'm sure I didn't say thank you enough as a student athlete, but I tried to make up for it as a coach every chance I got. Now is my chance to show my gratitude for all of those people in the room and those not here today who have and continue to sacrifice weekends and weeknights working long hours just to serve the student athletes because you love what you do and love to see your athletes excel in their sports. Some of those people are still at Union today from my playing days. Brandon, Cheryl, Jill, Mikey P, I saw him over there. Thank you. All of the others, the staff for operations, facilities, grounds crew, compliance directors, athletics communications, SWA, sports medicine, equipment room, strength and conditioning coaches, the list goes on. I sincerely thank you for the part you played in helping my 4 years on the field be so memorable and everything you've done since. Union will always hold a special place in my heart. Thank you.
Congrats, Abby. Our next inductee has the honor of being the all-time leading scorer in the long history of the Union men's basketball program. One of only 2 players to earn multiple first-team all-conference honors in her career, he scored 2,006 points from 2002 to 2006. He led the team to 4 postseason appearances, including an NCAA tournament as a junior. Let's learn more about John Cagianello.
Scorer in Union men's basketball history nearly 20 years after his graduation. A 3-time All-Conference honoree and one of Union's 2 two-time All-Conference first-team selections. He started off his career with Upstate Collegiate Athletic Association Rookie of the Year laurels after averaging 14.5 points per game as a first year. Cagianello needed only 63 games to reach quadruple figures midway through his junior year, knocking down a career-best 71 three-pointers at a 42% clip, to become the 7th fastest player in program history to score 1,000 points. He had his best season as a senior, becoming only the 3rd Union player to score 600 points in a single season, and averaging 21.6 points per game on 50% shooting from the field and 87% success from the line. As a result, he was named to the NABC All-District and D3Hoops.com All-Region First Teams, one of only 5 Union players to earn each honor. Cagianello was the only player in program history to eclipse the 2,000-point mark for a career, finishing his time in Schenectady with 2,006 points in the program record 114 games. He still ranks first all-time in three-pointers made at Union and shot better than 40% from long range in his career, while also ranking 2nd at the school by shooting 83.5% from the charity stripe and sitting 4th in most free throws made. Union won at least 17 games in all 4 of his seasons, including the program's 2nd Liberty League Tournament Championship squad in 2005. Cagianello is also one of the few Union players to make the leap from professional basketball after graduation, starting with the Manchester Magic of the European Basketball League and leading the team to a national cup in 2007.
We felt John was a guy who could certainly provide some scoring. Not that I was projecting him to score 2,006 points. So we definitely felt he was a guy who was a guy who could score it. Also, we thought had the kind of makeup as a person that was going to be important to us to succeed and blend as a team. Certainly, that ended up being the case with him. Guys understood and assessed very quickly that John was a guy who could make shots and score, and were good at getting him the basketball. But John was a guy who did that within the concept of our offense, not if you watch some professional basketball today where it's kind of a 1 versus 5 kind of thing. So John was a very easy guy to coach because he was a great competitor, was a good hard worker, and certainly had some individual talents that he had ability to score, who did it well within the team concept and on for very, very good teams. So John, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Very well deserved. I was very fortunate to be along for the ride. Thank you.
One of the first times in my memory of meeting John, it was freshman orientation, and myself and 3 other of the freshmen were going over to the courts, the outdoor courts to play the 2-on-2, and that was my first true introduction to how much of a competitor that John was. You know, I think myself and the other 2 guys kind of feel see, what kind of guys are these, how talented of players are these guys, and John, right from the beginning of the game, took no prisoners. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy make as many shots on a windy day, on a double rim, on an outdoor court, and you can kind of tell from that moment how important competing was to him, how important winning was to him. I'm pretty sure his team won every game that day. And for me, it was the first opportunity to get a window into how much of a great competitor John was. For example, another moment that I think really illustrates who John is was when he scored 2,000 points against Ithaca here. First Union College basketball player to ever do that. Quite a milestone. It was also an ECAC playoff game. And when that happened, the administrators wanted to stop the game. They wanted to take a photo with them and the ball and really acknowledge the accomplishment of the moment. And as people started to come on the court in the stoppage, John just waved them off. Because as great and accomplished as it was, for John, it wasn't about the individual accolades. That was not who he was. It was about doing what it took to win. And in that moment, that's all John cared about. And I think today, John will come up and he'll thank all the different people that helped him get to this point, because that's just who he is. He's one of the most selfless people that I've ever been around. And he deserves this as much as anyone. Just congratulations, John. This is such a well-deserved honor, and I am so incredibly proud to share this with you.
John Cagianello, welcome to the Union Athletics.
I still cringe when I see some of those haircuts. I don't really know where my teammates were trying to help me out there. That was pretty brutal. First, I'd like to thank Athletic Director Jim McLaughlin and the entire Hall of Fame committee. I'm very humbled that you thought enough of my basketball resume to allow me in. Thank you so much. I'd like to also thank those who planned, organized, and are working this event today. I know what a great deal of time and energy it takes to put these things on, and I just want to say that I truly appreciate all your efforts. I'd also like to congratulate all the other people, all the other honorees and the teams today. Very grateful to be honored alongside of you. I'm tremendously proud and grateful to receive this honor today, but what means more to me is seeing my family and my friends here to support me. It just means an awful lot to me. I'm more emotional right now than I thought I would be, because I generally don't show too much of it, but I appreciate you all being here. It's not often that you get to stand up here in front of this many people and thank those who got you to where you are today, and this is going to be about them. It's not about me. First, my family, here to support me just as they've always been, whether it was driving up to Union to see me or flying over to Manchester to watch me play in Europe. You've always been there for me, and I just really appreciate everything you've done for me. To my wife, Sonia, I don't know, hopefully she's in here right now. The two of them were screaming. Yep, they're over in the corner. I can't thank you enough and how lucky the kids are to have you. I know it's not easy to be the wife of a law enforcement officer, especially someone who selected undercover narcotics as their career path for the last 5 years. My wife knows when it's search warrant day, and she just always supported every decision I made. To my sister Jamie and my parents, Bob and Pam, the words thank you don't mean enough for what you've done for me. My dad worked for 23 years as a Hartford cop in order to give my sister and I everything that we needed. He's unquestionably the toughest and most selfless person I know. I had hoped that some of these traits rubbed off on me. My dad had a very serious work-related injury in like 97, 98. It made him difficult to get around, and yet there he was at every game, never missed one. No matter what he had to do, ask for rides, call friends, he made it to Union, he made it to Wethersfield, he made it overseas, he made it everywhere. I swear I'm not an emotional person. I don't know what's happening to me. But Dad, I think the most important thing is that you show up for your kids. You taught me that, and I promise you I will do that. I will do that for mine. To my mom, there are no words that could ever find that would be enough to thank you for everything you've done for me. I know things were not always easy when I was young, and you never complained. You just got the job done. During my last month at Union, there's exit interviews when you have student loans. And they bring you in and they want to know what your plan is to pay for your student loans. And the individual asked me what my plan was, and I said that I'm going to go play professional basketball. I can assure you that nobody from Union College had ever heard that plan. And she said to me, that doesn't sound like a great plan to pay off your loans. Which was probably pretty accurate. I remember calling my mom after and telling her about that, and after she calmed me down, I don't want to really sound cliche about this, but she said, just keep pushing. Like, if that's your dream, just go and do it. And for a kid that had barely been out of the Northeast by the time he was 22, I got to go to Europe. I got to travel around. I got to do a lot of cool things because my mom pushed me to do that. And Mom, I promise I'll do the same for Claire and Daniel that you did for me. And finally, to the people who really deserve all the credit for me being here, my teammates and Coach Montana. We had a little event last night, and Coach got really mad at me because I brought him up as someone how much I appreciate and how much he has influenced me. So he's about to get real mad over the next minute. The first time I sat down with Coach, I knew that this was the guy I wanted to play for. He was ultra competitive, incredibly knowledgeable about the game of basketball, and pretty difficult at times. But I say that with love because I'm the exact same way. I was recruited by a decent amount of college coaches, all who promised me starting positions or playing time. No one knew how I was going to play when I got to college. I could easily, being the son of two cops, I could easily read through that nonsense. Coach told me the best thing. He said, there's opportunity here to play. It's on you to earn it. I've taken that with me consistently through my life, Coach. The fairy tale with Coach ended pretty quickly during my first practice when I thought, what did I get myself into? A lot of yelling, a lot of screaming. Except for current head coach Chris Murphy. For some reason, he never seemed to get yelled at. Not once. Murph likes to say that it's because he never made mistakes, but I think the jury is still out on that one. President Harris made a comment earlier about athletics, and that alum, I can assure you, has no idea what they're talking about. What began as difficult practices, he wasn't just teaching us basketball. He was teaching us how to be good people. He was teaching me how to be accountable to my family, to my friends, to my job, how to take ownership of my decisions, and to be a reliable son, friend, father, and husband. Coach has had more of an impact on me than any other individual at Union College, and I still carry all those lessons with me today, Coach. And if you just look over there, his impact reaches so far beyond me. Those other guys feel the same way I do, and I know that because we talk about it all the time. I know, Coach, you don't want it to be about you, but a lot of the good in my life, which is here today, resulted in you bringing me to Union, and for that, I have no words. I'm so grateful. And finally, to my teammates, I don't deserve to be standing up here by myself. I'm here accepting this honor, but you guys made this possible. Devin Bruce, Tyson McCabe, Jim Rahill, Sean Kane, you guys just driving here today would be with me. The basketball stuff was always great, but your friendship has meant so much more to me. And I just have to talk about two guys quickly before I finish. Brian Scordato and Chris Murphy. The three of us met day one. We started every game together for almost all 4 years, and we became family along the way. Dotto is the godfather to my daughter, and Murph is the godfather to my son. Dotto, you were one of the best players that I ever had the privilege of playing with. Your talent on the court was absolutely amazing, far beyond what I was capable of. But above all that, I'm just really lucky to call you my friend. And to Chris Murphy. The first time I met Chris, it was Club U, anybody that went to Union. Murph was wearing a green headband. He had a fake diamond stud earring. And he was in the middle of a dance floor singing to Cameron's Hey Ma. And my first thought was, how am I going to deal with this person for 4 more years? Murph, I consider you a brother. I'm just so fortunate that our paths crossed, and everything even you've done for me this weekend, that video, I think that actually made me kind of emotional, which I'll get you back for later. Again, I'd just really like to thank the committee for bestowing this honor upon me. And Sonia, if you could at some point just let the kids know that I was an athlete, because I'm sure they're not going to believe it in 20 years.
Thank you. Congrats, John. Our next inductee is someone whose name is long overdue to be recognized for his play on the diamond from 1963 to 1965. The first All-American in Union baseball history, he pitched in Yankee Stadium during the NCAA tournament, and it took a future major leaguer to break his single-season strikeout record over 50 years after he set it. A Schenectady kid who stayed home and helped put Union baseball on the map. Let's learn more about our next honoree, Rick Crookes.
The first All-American in the history of the Union College baseball team and co-captain of the 1965 Eastern Region champions, Rick Crookes was one of the program's first stars in the diamond during a stellar 3-year varsity career from 1963 to 1965. Crookes had a season for the ages as a senior, winning a program record 9 games and 10 starts, and going the distance in 7 outings, including a string of 6 straight complete game victories. He finished the year tossing a school record 88 innings and striking out 70 batters with a 1.74 earned run average, with his 70 strikeouts remaining the school's single-season record for more than half a century. The right-hander tossed a complete game in 90-degree heat in the program's first NCAA tournament game, defeating Colby at Yankee Stadium in the Eastern Region semifinals, and then had one hit while manning first base during the title game win over Old Dominion. In addition to his dominance on the hill, the co-captain led the team with a .391 batting average, while driving in 13 runs and scoring 13 times as a senior. The team's opening day starter and winner in all 3 varsity seasons, Crookes posted a 16-4 record with a 1.38 earned run average, with 138 strikeouts and only 22 walks in 170 innings. He currently ranks second all-time in ERA, 3rd in complete games, 4th in wins, 7th in strikeouts, and 8th in innings pitched in Union, all coming in just 3 years with the varsity. Crookes also was a .300 career hitter for Union at the plate, hitting .331 with 2 homers, 19 RBI, and 18 runs scored in 30 games over his final 2 years.
Rick and I were roommates, Middlesex North College, and we became fast friends very early on. Our 1963 team was 5-4 with several rainouts. Our 1964 team was 6-7 with several more rainouts. But 1965 was totally different. Our schedule called for 15 games, and we played them all and wound up going 13-2 with our 13-man roster. But the key reason for the turnaround was Rick Crookes. Then it was up to Yankee Stadium for the NCAA small college playoffs, which proved to be a thrill of a lifetime for those of us involved. When we beat Old Dominion University, the 2-time defending champs, we were determined to be the best small college baseball team between Maine and Florida. The biggest single reason we won the championship was the play of Rick Crookes, a true All-American. Congrats, Rick, on your well-deserved honor of being inducted into the Union College Athletic Hall of Fame, and thank you for the lifetime friendship that we have shared.
Union was a logical choice for Rick. He grew up on Union Street in Schenectady and felt the city was a great place to live. Before joining the GE audit staff and traveling the world over, he had no desire to live anywhere else. He might still live here, but his wife of 53 years, Diana, is a Skidmore grad from Saratoga, his home. By his senior year, he was clearly the best hitter, the best pitcher on the squad, and the team rode his arm and his bat through an extraordinary season. His pitching was outstanding and got the most publicity, but he could hit for power, and wasn't too proud to bunt for a hit when it was called for. His only offensive shortcoming was that he really didn't know how to slide. Rick loves Union and has been a longtime supporter of the college. There's no doubt in my mind that Rick cherishes this honor more than any other. He's a fine athlete, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that he's an even better family man, gentleman, and friend. Congratulations, Rick.
Thank you, everyone. I'm 80 years old, and my memory's not very good, so I'm going to have to read. And it's tough to follow up on the first two people that are being inducted. That's a good idea. My baseball success at Union, particularly in 1965, was greatly helped by Gary Brown, Art Marshall, and Rich Erdos, all of whom are here today. Gary was our shortstop when not pitching. I played first base when not pitching, and Art filled in for both of us, and Rich was in right field. We lost our catcher, Randy Cool, in game 12. He was hit in the back of the head with by a Williams player, and so then Gary caught, and I pitched when I pitched, and Art caught when Gary pitched. And not only the last 3 days of the regular season, but also during in our two Atlantic Coast regional games in Yankee Stadium. We went to Yankee Stadium with only 13 players. We significantly less than the other three teams. I pitched the first game against Colby, and we won 5-2. Gary caught the first game in 90-degree heat, but was able to bounce back the next day, and we won 3-1 against Old Dominion, the Old Dominion team that had won the previous 3 Atlantic regionals. And Union College was the 1965 Atlantic Region champion. Our 1965 team was 15-2, Union's best campaign in its 91-year history. So, thank you.
Congrats, Rick. It always seems to be Williams all the time as well with that. So it's hard enough to star in one sport in college, but our next inductee managed to excel in not one or two, but 3 sports during her incredible run at Union from 2006 to 2010. In fact, she earned all conference honors in all 11 seasons with the indoor track, soccer, and lacrosse teams, and received almost every honor there is: All-American, All-Region, Academic All-American, Conference Player of the Year, to name a few. Let's learn more about our next inductee, Allison Cuozzo.
Allison Cuozzo was a 3-sport standout for the Union College indoor track and field, lacrosse, and soccer teams during her incredible 4 years on campus, competing in 7 NCAA championships and earning all conference honors in all 11 seasons of competition. Cuozzo's biggest impact came on the track, where she earned the first 2 All-American honors in program history. As a first-year, she placed 7th nationally in the 800 meters to become the program's first All-American, and then finished as the national runner-up in the event as a sophomore. She was named the Liberty League Indoor Track Co-Runner of the Year and the state most outstanding female runner of the meet as a sophomore, and finished her 3-year career with 4 conference titles and 2 ACAC titles on the track. She still remains a school record holder in 7 events: the 500, 600, 800, 1,000, and mile, as well as the 4x800 and distance medley relays. In addition to her time on the track, Cuozzo was also a 4-time All-Liberty League selection in both soccer and lacrosse as well. On the soccer field, she was named the Liberty League Player of the Year, and also earned NSCAA Scholar All-American and COSADA Academic All-America recognition as a senior. And she finished her career with 28 goals and 15 assists for 71 points, ranking 10th in career goals at Union. An All-Region honoree in the lacrosse field as well. She netted 91 goals with 33 assists for 124 points in 63 games, and ranks in the program top 10 in both caused turnovers and ground balls. As a result of her success, Cuozzo swept Union's 4 year-end athletic awards, winning the Lynch Catita Memorial Award in 2007, the Female Sophomore Athletic Prize in 2008, the ECAC Medal of Merit in 2009, and the Robert M. Ridings Award in 2010. She also served as Union's Student Athlete Advisory Committee President as a senior.
Allie's track record is truly exceptional. She set several school records, had numerous state and conference championships, and even made it to nationals. Her performance at nationals still is the best performance for any women Union track and field athlete to this day. The team even still talks about her performances. Beyond her athletic abilities, Allie really stood out as a leader for the team. When she wasn't competing, she'd be first out there to cheer somebody on, offer some support, or even a word of encouragement if somebody needed it. Her support and leadership of the team were invaluable. One particular member stands out, that Allie. We were in Ohio for nationals, and we were getting ready for the meet. And then 5 of her teammates show up there to cheer her on. She was so excited and thankful that they did the 10-hour drive just to get there. It just really shows the team bonds that was built while Allie was there. In my 2 decades of coaching, I think Allie is probably one of the greatest athletes I had the pleasure of working with. But more importantly, she's probably the finest person I had the pleasure of ever knowing.
I am so proud of you and not at all surprised to learn that you are being recognized today, not only for your achievements, but I think more importantly for the energy that you brought to everything you did at Union, on the field and off the field, and continue to do so today. I'm sure everybody in that room right now is experiencing the Allison Cuozzo effect, which is you probably cheering louder than anyone else, engaging with all these people that you haven't met before and taking genuine interest in them, and generally probably raising the whole vibe at your table. This is something that I loved at Union on the field from you, and is something that I think really impacted the culture of our teams, how hard people worked at practice, the energy that they brought on the field, and when that energy dipped, I think whether you knew it or not, you were the one that was most of the time bringing that up. And I have so many memories of specific situations of you doing that. Specific moments in games where I needed it, and I think, a lot of what you did on the field tied to that, and the success of our teams tied to it too. the fact that you do it continuously outside of sports, as you did at Union, is, I think, what defines you and the way you bring positivity to those around you. So well deserved. You're such a special person, and we're an amazing teammate. So proud to call you my friend, and Union should be really proud to now have you in their Hall of Fame. Congrats, Allie.
Hi. I'm not 80 years old, and I'm going to read. Abby and John and Rick, Michael, Justin, aka Coach Sievert to me, all y'all footballers, the 1988 Field Hockey Team 2, congratulations to everybody here. Jim, my buddy, Joanne Little, Beth, so many of y'all, President Harris, that make events like this happen, that make the athletic department so strong. Marcia and Kathy, who also I worked with when I was working at Union Athletics. Mikey P. Where's Mikey? Hi, Mikey. Al, the grounds crew, Eric McDowell, who did all the stats for everyone. Y'all centered your jobs around us to crib us incredible opportunities, so thank you so much for your efforts. The current coaches who are making the next Hall of Famers, I had a lot of coaches here. Coach Alyssa of lacrosse now, Coach Abby of track, and Coach Karen, who I had the privilege of meeting Friday night, the women's soccer coach. Keep carrying that flame forward and keep cultivating this tradition, and the athletes who become the humans that love Union the most and carry the pride of this beautiful school forward. To my coaches, I had a lot, like I said, Jess Critchlow, lacrosse, Lacey French, Catherine Berry, all of lacrosse, Brian Speck, as Abby said, who's tuning in from afar, who instilled in me the very simple phrase. When we were like doing those awkward photos up there, like, you guys want one of those like weird face poses that I was doing in the screen? But before every game in soccer, Brian Speck would say, no one can stop you, no one can stop you, no one can stop you. So just simple phrases that really inspired me. Brad Utter, also of lacrosse, and Megan Pistiglione, thank you. Coach Riggy, my incredible track coach, who uplifted and inspired and really believed in everyone on the track team, and made that group of friends and kind of weirdos. Us trackies are a little unique. You really made me shine, and it was emotional to see you speak of me because I feel the same about you. So thank you for supporting me so much. I also hope you're okay, because when we were in Ohio, I was listening to my iPod on like iPod mini on max volume, and it was so loud. Ricky was like, "Are you okay? I can hear it." It's like really loud. I was like, okay, I'll turn it down. My coaches, and then the training staff who kept me so strong, Brandon, Cheryl, and the Queen Bee, CJ, and of course the tender and the methodical, the practical healer that we all love so much, Jill. So trainer Jill was with me for soccer, indoor track, and lacrosse, and if you've ever been taken care of by Jill, like, round of applause, she's amazing. Speaking of Jill LaForest, a teammate of mine, is here supporting me and also supporting her husband, who's being inducted as well. But those are Jill, like so many of my teammates and friends. Where's Jill? Maybe with the babies. Really are the epitome of teammate and the epitome of leaders. Other Weinstein, Bianca, Clarissa, Pearl, Pat Petty, Diran Panosia and Patricio, and so many incredible teammates, which is how I thrive. Like, I didn't want to go to another school to just run track because I wanted to be a part of a team and a part of, there she is, there's Jill. I wanted to be a part of people that I could support and I could be supported by. These friends were like family to me at Union. And speaking of family, my big little brother, my #1 hype man, John, he's here to support me today. My brother-in-law, who kept me tough. The first time I met him, we were playing racquetball, and he smacked me in the face with his racket. My father, who's patient, and watching him teach my daughter and my sister's daughters in the yard, and seeing how just patient and loving and uplifting and easygoing he is. I'm like, oh, that's why I love to play, is because there was never any pressure. It was always just, we're gonna play and he's gonna be here. So thank you, Dad. My incredible, incredible mom. Like, clearly my sister's being inducted too, so like it's a little genetics, like it comes from our mom and dad. It's a little obvious. My mom is endearing and uplifting and believes in the goodness of everyone and lives her life in each day cultivating that goodness and sharing that magic so generously. She is tenaciously loving, and I have that tenacity and love in me because of her. And thank you for always feeding me. I love pineapple and toast before my track meets, and she always hooked me up. To my crew that is here too, my dear friends, Jenna and Ewo and Caitlin, thank you for supporting me. Caitlin, since I was 3 and 4 and 5 running around, and other classmates and friends at Union, thank you. And to my sister, the stoic glamour babe you'll hear about next, who is so easygoing. It can honestly mask how hardworking and dedicated she is to sport and to her family and to her children and to everyone that she loves. She was so good at being herself that without any words, it allowed me to be myself. And so it wasn't footsteps of hers I was following. I was just watching her be her, and then I got to be me. So what a gift. I'm here because you are here. And thank you to this committee for honoring me. It is very touching to be reminded of my strength and my power and my passion. That reminder of how strong I was allows me to keep doing hard things. And I say that because last night I was wondering, like, why am I so emotional? Why am I so emotional about this? And I started fostering a little baby girl 14 months ago, and it's been a hard year. And this reminder today, being here and listening to these things that definitely Eric McDowell took stats on, but this is an incredible reminder of strength and the strength of community, and how when I can do something better when I do it in an incredible community like Union. So thank you so much.
So as impressive as Allie's career was, there is only one person in Union history that can call themselves an All-American in 2 different sports, and it happens to be her older sister. One of the best players ever to play soccer or lacrosse at Union, she earned 5 All-Region honors in her 8 seasons and earned All-America honors in both sports during the same 2006 calendar year. Her teams boasted a combined record of 118 and 29 and made 6 NCAA tournaments. Let's learn more about Caitlin Cuozzo.
Cuozzo excelled in multiple sports at a level never before seen at Union, becoming the only player ever at Union to earn All-America honors in multiple sports as a member of the women's soccer and lacrosse teams from 2004 to 2008. Cuozzo earned all Liberty League honors in all 4 seasons on the pitch, including 3 first-team honors. After scoring a career-high 15 goals as a sophomore, she was named to the NSCAA All-America third team and All-Region first team as a junior, after scoring 10 goals with 4 assists for 24 points. She finished her decorated career with 36 goals and 27 assists for 99 points in 83 matches, ranking 4th in career assists, 5th in points, 6th in goals, and 3rd in game-winning goals. Cuozzo also started on the lacrosse field at Union, earning 3 IWLCA All-Region honors in 4 years. She started her career by being named to the women'slacrosse.com All-America All-Rookie team as a first year, before an All-America sophomore season that saw her rack up 30 goals with 27 assists for 57 points, along with 79 ground balls and program record 138 draw controls, which up until that point were the most ever recorded by a Division III player, and remained so until 2010. She finished her career with a program record 333 draw controls, which ranked 2nd most in D3 history at the time of her graduation, in addition to 88 goals with 64 assists for 152 points. Cuozzo's teams were a part of a combined 6 NCAA tournaments, and boasted a combined record of 118, 29, and 7 over 4 years. She earned Union's Female Sophomore Athletic Prize in 2006, the ECAC Medal of Merit in 2007, and the Robert M. Brannings Award in 2008.
Caitlin Cuozzo, finally it is your turn. 4 years of soccer. Your impact on our program was remarkable. You were so strong, you were so powerful. Once you were going forward, you were just impossible to stop. Just great to watch out on the soccer field. During your 4 years, we had 3 NCAA appearances. 1 year we didn't make the NCAAs, we won the ECAC championship, so that was a great honor. I can't help but mention the lacrosse team and coach that just loved dual sport athletes. That's what made Cuozzo so great. You were also captain of the lacrosse team. You had 88 goals and 64 assists. Whether scoring or setting up your teammates, your contributions to both sports were invaluable. You were more than an athlete. You were a scholar. You embodied the true spirit of what it meant to be a student athlete at Union College. The Cuozzo legacy, one that will forever be missed. Caitlin, on behalf of the Union College Women's Soccer Program, I extend our deepest gratitude. Thank you for helping build our soccer program. Your dedication, strength, and sportsmanship embody the very essence of the Union pride. Congratulations, Caitlin, on this well-deserved induction into the Union College Athletic Hall of Fame. Congrats, Kate.
I'm so honored to have the opportunity to talk about Caitlin Cuozzo, now O'Brien, and what she meant to me as a teammate at Union. Coming in as a freshman to soccer preseason, I was genuinely so intimidated by her because she was just so athletic and so good. But very quickly I learned that intimidation was the last thing that I should feel around her, and that I quickly started feeling motivated and really excited to have someone like her as a teammate. Over time, learning that her determination coupled with her talent and her kindness made for the best type of leader and someone who I really admired. So when I had the opportunity to join the lacrosse team, knowing Caitlin was also a leader on that team was kind of a no-brainer, even if it meant like learning how to play lacrosse and becoming a goalie and being covered in bruises. Getting to spend time with Caitlin and other people who shared her values and her leadership just meant a lot to me. And I think set the tone for everyone around us. The work that she put in and her determination and her attitude to just get it done and make it happen was something that I loved, and I think everyone loved, and wanted to emulate from her. And, you know, having that on the field and as a teammate was wonderful, but building a friendship with someone like that was also really valuable. So congratulations, Caitlin. You're a wonderful leader, a wonderful friend, and someone who I've always admired.
Allison Cuozzo, welcome to Union.
Hello, everyone. Jim, thank you so much. You have done an incredible job leading the athletics department, and you have a rock star team. I feel like when this announcement came out and I was reading about this induction class, I was blown away. I learned a ton about myself that I didn't already know. Learned a ton about my sister. I didn't know she ran 7 different events, let alone held the school record in them, so that was awesome. And other fellow inductees, I got to be alongside Abby and John and his time here, and a lot of these footballers in this room. So it's awesome to be back here and celebrating this with you all. Brian Speck, I think, was probably my biggest advocate here at Union College, and he totally took a chance on me. I didn't know what he would say in his video, but when I came to Union College my junior year because my big cousin Allison Cuozzo went here. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know where I was going to school. I didn't know if I was going to play sports, but I said, Lauren went to Union, let's go check it out. And Brian Speck met me in the stands on Bailey Field and said, hi, nice to meet you. Do you know how to kick a soccer ball? And I said, I do, yeah, I do. And he's like, okay, then you can show up for tryouts if you'd like to come. So Brian, I think, had absolutely zero expectations of me coming and joining his program, and he was just overly supportive of my time here, and I couldn't be more grateful that he took a chance on me and totally saw my abilities, and yeah, he's been a special part of my Union career, and I know he's not here because he's at his son's graduation, but big shout out to Brian, thank you very much. Jill, my girl Jill Crary over there, not to be confused with Jill LaForest, who's also my girl, but Jill Crary, thank you so much for taking the best care of us. Like, that is what you did. You always took care of us. You always made sure we were ready to go. You were and are more than an athletic trainer. You are such an important person in our lives, and I'm so glad we get to keep in touch, and you're super special, and totally knew ice baths were a thing long before the TikTok cold plunge phase. You knew it. You and Cheryl knew it all along. Some good memories in the ice baths in the training room. My teammates, so important to me. Erica's here today. Jill's here. My sister's here. Melissa, you heard from her. We had her working double time doing videos for Allie and I, but she's the best. And she's one of my best friends, and remained super close with so many incredible teammates, which truly made my time at Union College what it is. Today, I think for me, it's as much as a recognition of my accomplishments, my sister's accomplishments, but it's a recognition of all that our parents did for us to support us, always. Our parents always show up for us. There was never a time that we didn't have a parent in the stands, and I realized Allie made that logistically less complicated by deciding to come to Union and play the same sports, which was awesome, but they always showed up in athletics and in life, and it was always fun. I was never pressured, and I can't help but think about that in today's world of sports and kids playing 100 different teams and pressured to perform and win, and I just am so grateful that I never had any of that pressure from my parents. It was showing up and winning, or not winning, it didn't matter about winning, but it was more fun to win. Showing up and not dwelling on anything. And I, as a mother of 3 children now, I hope I instill that upon my children as well, because I think that's such an important part of sports. My brother, my little brother John, he's actually really athletic too. So athletic. When he's such a big supporter, I feel like he came with my parents to most games. Sometimes he hung back because he had to throw some high school parties at the house, but otherwise he'd come to the games, and he would undoubtedly be the loudest cheerleader out there. And one of the most special things about my brother is that he never fails to remind me how proud he is of me. in sports, in life. He's just always is showing me how proud he is of me, which means the world to me. And finally, my sister. A gift and an honor to play sports alongside her for so many years. She's absolutely incredible and wants no recognition for it. She also made sports in childhood so much fun. So proud of you and all your accomplishments, and I'm just so grateful we get to be teammates for life. Thank you.
Congrats, Caitlin. So the Union men's swimming and diving team was a national power in the mid-1990s, and our next inductee was at the forefront of that incredible success. He won 26 state titles over his 4 years and boasts the most All-America honors of any Union student athlete in any sport. While his 1996 national championship in the backstroke is one of 4 in program history. Let's learn more about our next inductee, Michael Humphreys.
One of only 4 national champions in the history of the Union College men's swimming and diving program, Michael Humphreys blazed his way to the most All-American honors in program history during his amazing 4-year run in the pool from 1993 to 1997. Humphreys specialized in the backstroke, in which he was a 4-time first-team All-American in both the 100 and 200, and also was a 3-time All-American honorable mention in the 50 freestyle. He won the 1996 national championship in the 100 back with a then program record time of 50.69 seconds, and also earned national runner-up finishes in the 200 back and as part of the 400 medley relay, accounting for 3 of his 5 first-team All-American honors from that season. Among Empire State swimmers, Humphreys was a 26-time state champion in the pool as well, winning at least 6 Upper New York State Collegiate Swimming Association titles in all 4 seasons, earning state swimmer of the meet honors as a junior, and taking first in the 100 and 200 back in 4 straight years. Over 4 years, Humphreys' 8 individual first-team All-America awards are tied with teammate Kevin McElrosby for the most in program history, while his 11 individual recognitions and 26 combined honors, including 15 relays, are both the most ever by a Union swimmer. The 4x100 and 4x200 freestyle relay times that Humphreys contributed to in 1997 still rank as the program's best 27 years after the fact. As a team, Union captured 3 straight state championships in its final 3 seasons, and posted 28-6 dual meet record, while recording 4 straight top 6 finishes at the NCAA championships during the program's unparalleled run of success.
It's a privilege to have a few moments to share some thoughts with you about my former teammate and good friend, Mike Humphreys. First off, Mike, congratulations. What a tremendous honor, and I can't think of anyone from my time at Union more deserving than you. It's hard to believe that I've known Mike for nearly 35 years now. Before our time together at Union, we were high school teammates, just an hour from here in New Hartford, New York. I first met Mike in the fall of 1990. I was a skinny little 8th grader. Mike was a towering 6'2" 10th grader, and already one of the top high school swimmers in New York. So I looked up to him in more ways than one. But it wasn't long before we became good friends, in and out of the pool. And he was one of the reasons why I ended up at Union College several years later. In sports, we've all experienced leadership in different ways. Some leaders are vocal, others lead by example. And then there are, well, the big dogs, the ringers. People you can rely on in a game or a race to always come through to get you that way. That was Mike. When you have someone on your team like Mike, someone who is really good and really fast, they take a little of the pressure off everyone else, but they also set the standard a little higher. They make everyone believe a little more in what they're doing. They help build a culture of excellence. They are the rising tide that lifts all boats. Mike's 4 years at Union were unquestionably the most successful in the men's swim team history. And that success was due not just to Mike's individual success, but also to his impact on everyone else. In the time I swam with Mike, I saw him win a lot of races. Just about every race I can remember. He was a 26-time conference champion, set dozens of pool, school, and conference records. He won a national championship. But one of my favorite memories happened in the dual meet against Williams College in 1997. Now, personally, I was looking forward to this meet because I was likely going to have a chance to swim the 200 freestyle against John Young, who, at the time, was the reigning national champion in that event. I finished 5th at nationals the year before, and so I was excited to have a shot at it. So the day of the meet comes, and at some point during warm-ups that morning, our coach Judy Wolf pulled me aside to tell me a lineup was set and I'd swim John in the 200 freestyle. But Mike was going to swim it too. Now keep in mind, by this time I had swum with Mike for quite a while. And over that time, I had never seen Mike swim a 200 free. Not in high school, not in college, not once. Now, I wish I could actually tell you a little more about that race, but John and Mike left me in the dust. I had the worst seat in the house. But I was told it was a close one. Mike pulled ahead in the last lap and beat the reigning national champion in an event that Mike never swam by half a second. Not too bad. Mike, on behalf of all your former teammates and coaches, thank you for everything you've contributed to our time here at Union. Well done. Congratulations.
Just have to get my speech out because I read also. As anyone who knows me knows, I'm a man of few words, so I'll make this kind of short and sweet for everybody. I would like to extend my sincere congratulations to my fellow inductees into the Union College Hall of Fame. It is a profound honor to be recognized alongside such outstanding student athletes. I want to express my gratitude to the selection committee and to the entire athletic department staff for not only the work they put into this event, but for their unwavering support of Union College student athletes in general. First and foremost, I owe an immense thank you to my parents and family. Without their love and unconditional support, I wouldn't be standing here today. I cannot recall a swim meet throughout my entire career where they were not in attendance, braving even the most severe snowstorms that upstate New York can throw at you. The number of nor'easters that we have driven through and probably should never have been on the road are countless. As I stand here today receiving this distinction, their support has helped shape the man I am today. Throughout my swimming career, I have been fortunate enough to have exceptional coaches, some of who are present here today. From my early days as a novice swimmer to my more experienced years, their guidance and support never wavered. Their support was present even on days when all they wanted to do was kick me out of practice because we had pushed them a little too far that day. Believe it or not, getting in the water was always the worst part of swim practice. The water was always cold, and I think I almost got kicked out of more practices before they even started than anything else. Their influence extended way beyond the pool, molding my character in profound ways. I am grateful for the camaraderie and excellence of the teams I was privileged to be a part of. Our collective dedication led to consistent success, never finishing outside the top 6 at nationals. I believe our greatness stemmed from the relentless battles of facing each other in practice every day, often twice a day. I think there were days we hated losing to each other more than we hated losing to the other team, which thankfully we didn't lose too often. The competition within the team fueled all drive, and while the trash talk may have been fierce, it also strengthened us as a team. Above all, we chill each other on in and out of the pool, which to this day many of us still do, trash talk and all. Looking back on my swimming career, which stands out as one of the most remarkable, hang on, lost my spot. Looking back on my swimming career, which stands out most as the remarkable individuals I've met along the way.
They have enriched my journey in ways I cannot overstate, and for that I am profoundly grateful. Thank you.
Well done, Mike. Congrats. So our final individual inductee loomed large on the track and on the gridiron for Union from 1999 to 2003. A two-time All-American in the shot put, he was a four-time conference athlete of the meet, and he still boasts the longest shot put in Liberty League conference tournaments. He was also a four-year starter and two-time All-Conference lineman for Union as well, and captained the team as a senior. Let's hear more about Justin Sievert.
Justin Sievert racked up the honors at the national, regional, and conference level as a decorated member of the Union College men's track and field and football team during his time on campus from 1999 to 2003. A four-time NCAA championships qualifier, Sievert became just the third Union field athlete to earn multiple All-America honors, placing fourth in the shot put at the 2002 NCAA Outdoor Championships and taking 8th in 2003. His second honor capped an incredible senior year that saw Sievert earn Atlantic Regional Athlete of the Year, New York State Field Athlete of the Year, and UCAA Indoor Track Field Athlete of the Year honors. The thrower was a six-time state and UCAA champion between the shot put and discus, and a two-time ECAC champion in the shot put. Named the UCAA Field Athlete of the Meet in each of his final four conference championships, he still holds conference championship and association records in the outdoor shot put, with his mark of 16.65 meters, remaining the longest shot put recorded by a Liberty League athlete since 1995. In addition to his time with the track and field team, Sievert also was a four-year starter and senior captain on the gridiron, earning a pair of all Liberty League accolades at defensive tackle. The team boasted a 32-11 record during his tenure and made 3 postseason appearances, including the 2000 NCAA tournament. He finished his career with 131 tackles, 10 sacks, and 5 fumble recoveries. As a senior, Sievert was the recipient of the Athletic Department Director's Cup, awarded to a Union student athlete who has demonstrated sustained competitive excellence. He also earned top male honors in his final 2 years, winning the William B. Jaffe Athletic Award and the William A. Pike Award.
Justin has enjoyed remarkable success at track and field, from state championships to All-American honors, to his role as team captain to eventually as assistant coach. Justin's impact on the team provides valuable besides athletic abilities. However, what really set Justin apart was his leadership abilities. He was always the first out there supporting all facets of the team, from sprints to jumpers to distance and, of course, throwers. He led by example with his hard work and determination. I remember one time Justin, at the end of the season, early in his career, he said, "You know, Coach, I'm going to win leagues next year." So not only did he go on and win leagues, he ended up winning at nationals. When Justin set his mind to something, there was nothing that stopped him from achieving his goal. I feel very privileged to witness Justin's athletic and academic exceptional efforts. But moreover, I'm thankful for the time we had coaching together and his continued support and friendship.
Justin, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you on your induction into the Union College Athletics Hall of Fame. I remember back in 1999 when I recruited you at a New Falls High School and brought the film back into our staff room and evaluated you on tape. At that point, we knew we had one heck of a football player. Only 4 years later, we found out that we had a gem of a human being. You were a 4-year starter on the Union College football team, captain in your senior year. You started in 1999 as a freshman on one of the best defenses in the nation that year. The impact that you had on our football team, both on and off the field, was tremendous. To have you play for us was like having another coach on the field. You were relentless, dedicated, you knew exactly where to be, and you were in the right spots almost every time. You were one heck of a football player. It's been an honor to coach you, and it's an honor to call you my friend. I've watched you develop over the years into a professional, a wonderful son, husband, and father. We are lucky at Union College to call you one of our own. You have been one of the best student athletes that Union College has ever seen. I've watched you on the field, I've watched you off the field, and your leadership skills, your tremendous talent, and your servant leadership has impacted so many people, especially your student athletes, your friends, your coaches at Union College. Congratulations on your induction into the Union College Hall of Fame. I am so proud of you, and we are lucky to have you here in our Hall of Fame as one of our own. Justin, congratulations.
My kids were very concerned this morning that I was going to mess up and embarrass them, so we brought them up here to make sure that didn't happen. So if I do start to mess up, I need you guys to cheer just to make sure we trick them. So, first off, I'd like to thank the selection committee, Jim, Steve, Emily, and everybody else who put this together. It's a great event. Obviously, these things take a lot of hard work, so I know all the inductees and attendees appreciate it. I'd also like to congratulate all the other inductees. I'd like to highlight the 2005 football team. I was actually a senior when they were freshmen, and 3 of the offensive linemen, or 3 or 4, actually started games that year for us, and I'm just glad that I got to practice against them when they were 18 rather than when they were 22. Made it much easier. I'd also like to highlight Allison Cuozzo. Allie was, as she mentioned, was a student athlete when I was a coach here, and Allie was, I don't think her presentation does her justice. She was kind of like the Hall of Fame of the Hall of Fame. I don't think people realize, she essentially came to indoor track in January, won a bunch of races, went to nationals in March, did well there, then returned to her other All-American, responsibilities with other teams. So truly remarkable athlete, one of the best I've ever seen come through. Honestly, for me, this is kind of really not my deal. I'm not super comfortable getting attention like this. I played defensive tackle. Our job was to keep linemen off of linebackers, right, Brownie? I was supposed to be there to make Rosie and Randy and all those other guys make plays. In track, I threw a 16-pound ball and a 2-kilogram disc, right? Our events weren't even near the track itself. They put us off in the corner like weirdos. So, we're not talking about touchdowns. We're not talking about, headlines with me. But that was fine, really because, the accolades, any sort of external validation was really never the point. The point, the focus, and I tell my kids this all the time, what matters isn't really the results, it's the process. It's controlling the controllables, it's doing those sorts of things. And usually when you do that, the results come, right? As long as you have that mentality and really a why not me mentality, believing in yourself, you can really see what possibilities can happen. So, but the good thing about today is it's really not about me. I know a bunch of other inductees mentioned this, it's really about giving thanks and showing appreciation to the people who kind of made this happen, who supported us along the way, who really helped us with our process. I visited Union for the first time in '98. I had taken trips to Columbia, I had taken trips to Penn. I kind of came here really on my visit, because I honestly had nothing better to do that weekend. But I got here and it was fine. Really, Dino was here. Dino was my recruiter, Coach Dino, and we talked about academics. We talked about the community. We talked about things like that. And I came in Sunday morning from a late night on Saturday, as I'm sure many other athletes can remember the recruiting trips. And I gave him the spiel, and I kind of told him, it was great, but I'm probably not gonna be here. And honestly, the only other Division III school I was looking at that time was University of Rochester. And the only reason I was looking at them was because the coach at that time, the D-line coach, who's here today, wouldn't leave me alone. And he seemed somewhat unhinged, so I was kind of scared of him. And he used to I used to go on America Online, when you had to dial up, that thing. The older people remember that. And I would go on for 3 hours a night just so I wouldn't have to do the phone calls because I was intimidated. But as the process played out, Dino kept on it, right? He was a great recruiter. And the thing about his message that was different than everybody else is it was consistent. And it wasn't really about him or his program or his team. It was about the opportunities that he could provide me, that Union could provide me. And they were honestly the only school that didn't try to tell me, like, you can do this, here's when you can play, here's the success you may have, here's the sports that we want you on. It was all about them and their school. And Dino basically said, you know, you come here, we're going to give you the opportunities to do what you need to do to be successful. So I took the leap of faith and I came to Union. And it wasn't always easy, but I was able to have a great deal of team, more importantly, and individual success. And I was able to, you know, have those accomplishments based on some people that I'd like to highlight now. So first off, my parents, they weren't able to make it today, but, you know, just to show their dedication to me, they moved back to Michigan when I was in freshman, after my freshman season, and they still made every single home game that I played at Union. They would drive 12 hours on Friday, they'd come to the game, they'd take me out to dinner, which you can see I was a little bit bigger then, so that was expensive, and then they drove back 12 hours on Sunday. So, you know, I can't thank them enough. You know, I love them. You know, I really appreciate it, and I'm just so blessed to have them. I also thank my family right now. My boys, Jackson and Mason, they're here making sure I don't mess up. My wife, Jessica's in the back. You know, their support, you know, and the things that I'm currently involved with is just tremendous, and I wouldn't be able to do anything I do today without their love and support. Football team, as I mentioned, John Aldino did a great sales job. But really, he's the winningest coach in Union history on the football side. He has multiple players and teams inducted into the Hall of Fame, including the team later today. Across multiple eras of football here, he was able to reinvent the program multiple times. Coach Aldino, thank you. You're a Hall of Famer in my book. Coach Brownie, awesome to play for. The pregame speeches were amazing. You know, I was really never sure, though, if you thought I was any good, but you kept putting me back out there. And I can say, you never, you know, made me cry during a game, like Alan Fiore. Coach Perna. Coach Perna was the UR coach that I was mentioning. You know, Coach Perna, you know, I finally told him, you know, I'm not going to U of R, and he was like, he's a Union grad. He was like, well, at least you're going to Union, just hung up the phone. And then come to see, I show up for fall camp, and who's on the sideline? Coach Perna. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. But you know what? Our relationship was great throughout when I got here. And like the biggest compliment I can give Coach Perna is he was a full-time coach. He put in full-time work with our room, even though he was a part-time coach. So I appreciate all the work he put in with our D-line room. Coach Cottrell, you know, as a program, the track program, and I was around, it wasn't the same as it is now. You know, we were there was more tiering, I think, with the sports then. Like, these sports are here, other sports were here. That was before Jim's time. But Coach Cottrell always made sure I had, like, the equipment I needed. You know, I was able to go to the meets that would challenge me. And I think a lot of the time he probably did that out of his own pocket rather than the team budget. He's not here today, but, I mean, you really can't ask for somebody to be more invested in your career than Coach Cottrell. Coach Riggy, who Allie mentioned, I mean, Coach Riggy was really heart and soul of Union track and field for a long time. And a lot of the work, you know, that he did, you know, kind of flew under the radar, went underappreciated. But, you know, Coach Riggy was phenomenal, great athlete in his own right, and I really appreciate all the things he did. Finally, Coach Sandy Collins, Coach F. Gwynn, they were head coaches here at the time I was here in other sports. A lot of coaches then had second assignments where they had, you know, they were assistants on the sports where they weren't the head coaches. And Coach Collins and Coach Gwynn actually accompanied me to nationals twice because Coach Cottrell and Coach Riggy couldn't make it. And to have them, when they had full-time sports to be involved with, their own personal lives, to come spend a week with me, to do that, to take time away from their team and their professional obligations, you know, I really appreciate that. Training staff, Jill, I see you're here. I haven't had a chance to say hi yet. It's good to see you. And then obviously Cheryl, and I think everybody sitting here who's been an athlete has their own, like, their evolution of Cheryl story, right? You get here and you're like, why does she hate me so much, right? Because and it's great because you get here as a decorated high school athlete and she makes you, like, earn it, right? High school's over. You get here and it's like you got to reestablish yourself. And as you do that, the relationship totally changes. And there's a respect and, like, an admiration for each other. And she's just the best. You know, I can't thank enough because I spent a lot of time in the training room. I really can't thank her enough for all the things she did. Teammates, track and field football, there's really too many to mention. Specifically, I'd like to call out my defensive line teammates who I came here with and were in my class, Bob Kelly, Colin Fletcher, and Dan Croce. And I'm going to end it with a story about Dan Croce, who unfortunately had to leave this morning because his wife got the flu last night. But, you know, Dan and myself, we go back a long way. We played high school football together against each other. And so we knew each other for 4 years before we even got to Union. And senior day, Coast Guard game, you know, we're holding on by a thread. Dan picks off a pass. Defensive tackle, player right next to me, picks off a pass with the game still in doubt. And he headed towards the end zone. And that's like every D lineman's dream, right? So he picks it off, and he probably needs like one block to score a touchdown. So me being the great friend and teammate that I am, obviously, I sprint towards the guy, I pancake him, we go to the end zone, we celebrate. What a better way to cap off your senior season, right? Only that's not what happened. I saw he picked the pass off. I stopped, let him get tackled, because there was no way I was going to stand at events like this and listen to him talk about how he scored a touchdown for the next 20 years. So he didn't score. We still won the game, and that's how it played out. So anyway, thanks to everybody for everything. I appreciate it.
Boys, I think your dad did okay, but it was your support that got him through that, no doubt about it. We'll now move on to the first of our two teams of distinction to be recognized today. The 1988 field hockey team set a lofty standard for success as one of the most dominant teams in any sport in Union history. Led by head coach Charlie Robert, Union won its first 14 games on the way to a program best 17-1 record in an ECAC Mid-Atlantic Region Championship. Let's hear more about this incredible team.
The most successful field hockey team in Union College history, and one of the most dominating squads in any sport in the college. The 1988 Union hockey team rolled to a 17-1 record and set new program standards at almost every turn. Led by head coach Charlie Robert, Union started the season with a 14-game winning streak, the sixth longest winning streak in any sport at the school. The team was bolstered by a defense that allowed only 9 goals in 18 games, including 12 shutouts, and finished the regular season with 6 consecutive clean sheets, before earning a 7th to start the New York State Women's Collegiate Athletic Association tournament. The team's lone loss came in the state semifinals to eventual champion and national semifinalist SUNY Portland by a 1-0 score in triple overtime. But the team rebounded to capture the ECAC Mid-Atlantic Region Championship with a 2-1 win over Montclair State and a 1-0 victory over FDU Madison. The team, which finished the year ranked 3rd in New York State, was paced defensively by goalie Jen Lyon, who set school single-season records with 17 wins, a 918 save percentage, and 0.50 goals against average, and who went on to set program career standards in all 3 categories as well. Athletics Hall of Famer Courtney Lynch led the offense with 10 goals and 6 assists, and went on to earn multiple postseason accolades, including NFHCA All-America Second Team honors, All Mid-Atlantic Region and All-State First Team laurels, and the department's Robert M. Browning Award. All program 5 players, forwards Lynch and Lynn Hyde, midfielders Carolyn Hardy and Ann Mulvaney, and back Monica Zipka, earned NFHCA All-Region and All-State recognition as well. The 1988 Union Field Hockey Team, welcome to Union Athletics Hall of Fame.
Oh, no, not behind. In front. In front. Come on, come on. Do it again. Yep. One more time. They heard that enough, that's for sure. So good afternoon, everybody, and as many have said, a huge congratulations to all the inductees. You know, we share our appreciation and gratitude, and certainly Jim, you know, the stories and memories in this room today are remarkable. And so thank you to you, the committee, your staff, and we're going to adopt Kelly because Kelly has been incredible this weekend for all of our experiences. Round of applause. Yeah. So not only remarkable, but also magical, right? So Ann asked, do you have game film? I said yes. 6 hours. And so you're wondering what you saw in that video. There was a flash to the sky in terms of Frank Bailey Field. Well, as I was watching our game against Williams and our victory against Williams, all of a sudden there is a Goodyear blimp that flies over Frank Bailey Field. None of us, we checked yesterday, none of us remember this, but you saw it. And so my students today would say, Professor Robert, you and your symbolism. And I'm like, but now I have proof. I have confirmation. And so we didn't realize just how good a year it was going to be. And that blimp overhead really was an omen, a good omen for us in terms of that good year. And so we also didn't realize that we'd be standing here 36 years later celebrating with all of you that good year. So thank you to the blimp, right? So from summer workouts to inspirational quotes on the bulletin board to motivational quotes on the lockers to Bob Ridings teasing at the cage to finding payphones, van rides, and finding payphones to call in the results, put a dime in the phone to make sure that they got there, which didn't quite happen all the time. And as you saw also in the video, the team created their own Victory Express public relations operation to make sure that people knew that we were on a roll. Not only that, but obviously you heard Courtney, All-American, Monica and Jen as our wall on defense. We even witnessed how strong our defense was on the film last night. Yes, we watched film. Coach wouldn't have it any other way. 5 players being named, obviously, to teams. But I think the impressive part is that 39-5 was our scoring record. 39-5 when we were 13-0. In 17-1, we finished 47-10. There were a lot of zeros that our opponents had to deal with and put up with. And that's all thanks to Courtney, Lynn, Heidi, Mary, Allison, MB, Ann, Roselle, Carolyn. Almost everyone took a chance at putting that ball in the cage. Each player, to me, was like a key on a finely tuned piano, each with their own unique gift, painted together as one block U, which they did a very good job with the other day, by the way. What these incredible Dutch women accomplished in the fall of 1988 was unity through respect, admiration, perseverance, togetherness, and yes, Kelly, a sense of oneness, and strength and team spirit. By team, it was together, everyone achieved more. This was such a magical group of players with a very unique chemistry who went game by game to claim their fame. It was such a privilege to run the journey with them. And I can't thank Betty enough for being my co-pilot in every facet of the word, that's for sure. So thank you to everyone today for celebrating with us the stats, the record of such a good year. And congrats to my cherubs. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, my gratitude, my appreciation, your dedication. The memories we've put together this weekend have been truly special, so thank you to everybody. It's been a great day.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you, President Harris. This has been an amazing weekend for us. Thank you, Jim, as well. Thank you to Kelly. We had an amazing weekend over the weekend. Many of us flew in or traveled in from all over the country. We spent Friday at the alumni game, enjoying that evening, meeting the current players and networking with them. And then yesterday we gathered for a team gathering. We reviewed film, we reviewed the season. We had a great meal, and so it was a lovely weekend, so thank you very much. So I wanted to speak about the key principles that made us successful. So the accolades, the postseason accolades and the statistics are wonderful across this team. But one of the key things we did was we won in the locker room first. We were friends on and off the field. We were strong in our individual positions, but collectively we were even better. And that team chemistry that often great teams talk about that's so elusive, we had throughout that season. We trusted each other, we trusted our coaches, we played with focus and determination, we were serious about our game plan and executing on the details, but we played with humility. And every time we won, we celebrated by painting the idol, not the block U, but the idol. But then we put our heads down and we focused on the next game and the next result. There was no divas on the team, there were no conflicts, there was no drama, it was only fun, lightheartedness, but seriousness when it came time to be serious. And then we celebrated our successes. We painted the idol with each win, and that momentum carried us through. We had articles and posters in the locker rooms that we reflected on and we gained strength from. And we just enjoyed each other as people. We enjoyed each other as classmates, teammates, and friends. That was 35 years ago and it's still present today. Couple key things that really, Charlie has been a godsend to all of us as people and as individuals as we learned life lessons on the field and in life. But on the field, she taught us to visualize our successes and our outcomes. And she brought in advanced game plays and strategies as she started to realize that we could execute those. And then we made adjustments and improvements along the way. Her strength and conditioning program during preseason, we all came in shape, and within 3 days we couldn't really even walk. So we worked through it, but preseason was our key to success as well in terms of our athletic fitness, and we were fast, and we played a game of finesse on the AstroTurf, and we really played quite, I think, an advanced game of field hockey for Division III field hockey. The other thing is, I think just in general, President Harris, you talked about this, the overall experience at Union as student athletes was something we took pride in. We took pride in our academics, our GPAs, our experience at Union all together. And I think that, as we reflect on that, that was really an amazing time in our lives. I do want to highlight Courtney, of course, is our former Hall of Fame inductee, amazing player, amazing person, and one of our co-captains. And Danielle Levine was also one of our co-captains. They set a positive tone on the team from day one, and it was just this very lighthearted, fun, loving environment. So thank you very much for that. And I do want to recognize a couple of people in the audience. We have Carolyn Zutel, also a former field hockey player and Hall of Fame inductee. Wonderful, wonderful teammate. I'd also like to take a personal note to say thank you to Coach Terry Martin. She was our high school field hockey coach at Queensbury, New York, and she helped Danielle, Jen Lyon, where's Jen? Jen and myself from Queensbury come to Union. And she was an amazing coach. She's a legend in field hockey circles. She has a son and daughter who played USA level field hockey. Just an amazing person and coach and advocate, so thank you very much. And Charlie, I mean, what can I say? You changed us. You changed us. Sorry, I knew I wasn't going to get through it. John, you started this. Charlie has been an amazing advocate for us as women, female athletes, and student athletes, and you changed our lives for the better, so thank you very much.
No, you changed me. Team, together, one.
And Jen, who's my longtime friend, career records for Union College as a goalie. Just, if you look at the history stats in Union College on the website, her name is listed multiple times. #1 ranked career on wins, saves, goals, against average, just amazing goalie and goaltender, and our defense was amazing. And our midfielders and forwards, just, you know, the whole experience was really thrilling. So thank you very much.
One quick thing, it doesn't end with just the players and the coaches. The parents were tremendous as well too, and Mrs. Levine. Again, Charlie doesn't travel anywhere without trinkets, so 36 years later, we still have them. Thank you, Mrs. Levine, for bringing the trinkets today.
Congrats, and thanks for your incredible leadership, Charlie. Our next team of distinction is one of the best that Union's most historic teams has produced. The 2005 football team had one of the most prolific offenses in program history, breaking records both on the ground and through the air. The team went 11-1, earned a Liberty League title, and reached the NCAA tournament for the 10th time in program history. Here's more about the 2005 Union football team.
One of the most successful teams in the program built on sustained excellence, the 2005 Union College football team recorded the second most wins in a season in program history and set numerous records on the way to an 11-1 record in the program's 10th NCAA tournament appearance. Led by head coach John Audino, the team steamrolled to the third 10-0 regular season ever by a Union squad, outscoring their opponents 290-160 and winning on the strength of both its offense and defense. The team could win a game 7-0 when Alex Markle returned an interception 76 yards for a touchdown in the final minutes of East Coast Guard, or outscored the opponent 55-41 when Union and Ithaca combined for over 1,100 total yards in the first round of the NCAA tournament. The team captured Union's second outright Liberty League championship with a 7-0 conference record and finished the season ranked 14th by D3Football.com. The team's high-powered offense set at least 7 individual program records that still stand today. Hall of Fame running back Thomas Cagianello broke program single-season standards for rushing yards, rushing attempts, rushing touchdowns, and rushing yards per game. Quarterback Anthony Marotti threw for a record 3,095 yards and helped set a new team record for passing yards in the season. And wide receiver Steve Angeletta reset program records in pass receptions and receiving yards. Arceneaux and Marotti remain the school's all-time leaders in career rushing yards and passing yards, respectively. Arceneaux was named the program's second Gallardi Trophy finalist as the Division III Player of the Year and earned the program's only D3Football.com All-America First Team honor, and was part of a program record 4 D3Football.com All-Americans, alongside Angeletta, tackle Jim Masso, and quarterback Chris Nappy. 2005 Union football team, welcome to Union Athletics Hall of Fame.
So before we bring up head coach John Audino and the team, I want to welcome Dylan Walton Yedlin up to the podium. You know, while it's great to see so many here, that there is a person missing, and that's Brendan Crumblish, who passed, and we want to make sure that we remember and honor Brendan. So Dylan.
I just wanted to start out by saying thank you, everyone, for having us here. It's an honor to be here among some of the best athletes in school history. Congratulations are in order to everyone in this room. Congratulations to the inductees for their accomplishments, and congratulations to the family and friends who provide the support system that help them thrive. I have the privilege and the heartbreak of speaking on behalf of our fallen teammate and friend, Brendan Crumblish. For those who don't know him, Brendan was a first-team All-Liberty League selection and a starting defensive tackle on the football team. He was 6'2", 300 pounds, of pure, unbridled ginger fury. He would eat double teams for breakfast. For dinner, entire blocks of cheese while sitting on the couch watching Sex and the City. He was one of the most unique people I have ever met. He was a thinker. He was a dreamer. He was fiercely loyal. He had a wide range of interests and an even more diverse group of friends. He could somehow fit in and stick out in any situation he was in. He was one of the most authentic people I have ever met. He was Crumlish. Brendan, I know you're probably up there listening to Snoop, Stan and Carrie, and Mr. Big while translating some Latin. Yes, he could read and write Latin. But I just wanted to say we love you, we miss you, and this is for you.
Dylan, thank you so much for such a heartfelt remembrance and for the friendship that perseveres. And John, I welcome you to join us up here as the winningest coach in Union football history, and we want your entire team to join us up here. So please welcome John Audino.
Come on up, guys. I'm going to pull my notes out. Unfortunately, you're going to have to listen to me at the end of the program. And as Chris Nappy said to me last night as we were celebrating at Daly and Yates, please don't run on like you always do. So I'll try to be brief. Thank you for the kind words, Dylan, about our brother Brendan, who was a great player, an unbelievable person, and an excellent teammate. I also have marching orders from the true head coach, my wife Tina. I was just the assistant this year. She wishes she could be here with you guys. She thanks you for everything that you've done for me and our family. And she really appreciated the roses that you sent her the other day. I'd like to thank the athletic department and the Hall of Fame committee and congratulate all of the inductees today. You certainly join an unusual and elite club. On behalf of the 2005 football team, it's my honor to let you know how thrilled we are with this prestigious award. And we thank you for everything that you have given us today. We are thrilled to be a part of the Hall of Fame as one of the teams to be inducted into this prestigious group of outstanding student athletes that have represented Union on the field, on the courts, in the pool, and off the field academically. But before I really tell you the story, I'm going to give you a few other lines of note that you should know about the team. Some of the guys may get a little upset with me because I'm going to roast a couple. As the guys know, I used to get a little upset at times, and when I got upset, I started to develop a list speech. And Kevin and I were talking about that the other day, and I would always say, okay, number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So I'm going to point out 5 things on my list about this football team. Number 1, we were really good.
We saw the film, we watched the tape, we see the statistics, and we know the record. But guys, what's up with 3 straight weeks of F&M on the last play of the game? WPI on an interception return for a touchdown? And Kings Point going to overtime? Thank God we had Coach G in the staff room and his positivity. Because we probably wouldn't be here today, because if he told you what I wanted to do, oh my God, we would have had no legs. Number 2, some of you think we were really good coaches in the F&M game. We won on the last play of the game. Well, let me tell you what really happened. We brought Anthony over with Twitchell and Angeletta and Regal. And I was downstairs, and I'm talking to G upstairs, and I'm going like, what do you want to do? And he goes, hey, Coach, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do, we gotta do something. So I asked the guys, well, what do you guys want to do? And so we got 3 or 4 different opinions. And in the background was Jim Mahan, okay, our backup quarterback, and he said, Coach, run, sting, go. That's what we called, and that's what we won the game on. So it wasn't our coaching, it was our execution, and it was certainly a suggestion by a player that we took, and we won the game on the last play of the game. Number 3, Anthony, you constantly yelled at me all the time. We attempted more passes than we ever passed in the history of any of our games. 59 in one game. Every week, Saturday, on the field, coming off the field. Oh man, Dino, we got to throw the ball more. Anyway, you'll see his name in the record books for a lot of years to come. And lastly, number 4, 3 days of celebration. Friday night, Saturday night, today. Guys, I missed you. I really did. And I love you like a son. But come on, I'm tired. 3 days of celebrating. Anyway, congratulations and thank you. I'm going to try to speak as a voice for all of us, but you're going to have to excuse me a little bit, as I am a proud coach of a fine group of young men and a coaching staff who gave their hearts and souls to the historic Union College football program. Before I begin, I'd like to thank the outstanding group of parents, support staff, and radio people who our team loves so much. The families and the friendships that we have made together is so special. We thank you for letting us coach and mentor your sons, and we value your friendship. Now I'm going to go off because after all of our games, folks, we used to go to the Stockade Inn. And if you know anything about Schenectady, the Stockade Inn is kind of went out of business there for a while. And one of the reasons why is because all of the parents and all of the players celebrated after the game. After the 2005 season, we didn't show up anymore. Parents, you were great. I enjoyed speaking with you on Saturday after the games. And players, we really had a lot of fun after all of those wins. To be one of the few teams inducted into the Union College Hall of Fame is extraordinary when you think about what the program has done over the years. One of the things that I always used to tell the recruits, and Justin Sievert said it well, we were pretty good salesmen, Brownie, G-Man, Irv. We recruited excellent players. Guys, these guys won the games. We didn't. If the transfer portal was in existence back then, nobody'd be standing up here. I probably would have been 1-9. Anyway, 13 NCAA appearances, 2 NCAA championship appearances, 10 undefeated teams, and this one was only 1 of 4 with 10 regular season wins. So anyway, our team came together with a concerted effort by the coaching staff in recruitment, good player development, and good players. Our team was led by a very good group of captains, excellent seniors who gave us outstanding servant leadership, and a very good junior class who complemented our seniors so well. We had a fine group of young players who provided the depth that was needed to survive a very tough and challenging schedule. We had players from the East Coast, the West Coast, and the state of Florida, who all came together for one common cause, and that was to wreak havoc on our opponents, which we did week after week on the field. We believed we could play with anyone in the country at any time, at any place, at any drop of the hat, no matter what the circumstances. To summarize the season, it started off pretty well. The offense complemented the defense complemented the offense. We hit a little lull during the middle of the season, which we talked about, where the defense carried us. We finally got our spread and shred philosophy offensively towards the end of the season, and when the offense got in a roll, we scored 42, 49, and 59 points the last 3 of our 4 games that we played. We were a tough out. We completed our undefeated season with a 49-42 win at home versus RPI in front of a sold-out Frank Bailey Field. The team handled adversity so well, and the more pressure that was put on us, the better we responded as a team. We found a way to win with good overall defensive play, red zone stops, turnovers, big plays on offense, physical play up front on offense and defense, and great special teams play. We played complementary football, the only way we could survive with the challenging schedule of 10 games and no bye week. As the head coach, I was proud of the way our team and our coaches respected each other. We had players, and players win games. As the head coach, I spoke to the team, and I thought that the team really bought in until I was talking to Tim Cannon last night. And he goes, "Coach, we didn't pay any attention to you." Anyway, we wound up having a pretty good year. And the guys won because I believe they did buy in, and they tried to execute the plan. Really, the only way that we could lose was if we, as a staff, messed up, or we just didn't come to play. That did not happen. My philosophy in coaching young people has always been that we are here for the players no matter what. We created a family atmosphere, an atmosphere of loving what we do, when we do it, and how we do it. We created an atmosphere where the coaches and the players wanted to be teammates and play for each other. It was not hard to coach these guys or motivate them. They were a talented group, and they truly loved the game of football. There was a special bond that very few teams have. My goal was to provide the players and the team, along with the coaches, the opportunity to contribute, the satisfaction of developing a plan, and the gratification that comes from executing the plan. I felt that it was our responsibility as coaches to help these young men improve as people and to take what they learned from our staff with them, to find their passion, to become good people, great sons, excellent husbands, wonderful fathers, and solid citizens. Let me tell you something. These young men have done that and more. Guys, we are so proud of you and what you have done with your lives. I want to congratulate our coaches, our support people, our parents, our players for your accomplishments in the 2005 football season. Thank you to the coaches and the players for giving me more than I could give you. It was a great year, and it was a lot of fun to be with you. I would like to close with a metaphor from a famous coach, Bill Curry, once used in a YouTube video called The Huddle, and how the huddle in football relates to life. In the huddle, Bill Curry says, you will find people of all colors, liberals and conservatives, all faiths, short and tall. As players and coaches, we have been through all the fires that football can bring. The miracle of a team where many drop out and we all think of quitting at some point, is what makes football the greatest team sport alive. Where each player needs each other on every rep and in every game. Differences do not matter. Each man's sweat smells the same, and their blood is the same color. It is a game where we become brothers for life, where grown men hug each other in joy and disappointment, where we dance together and where our memories will never die. The huddle represents what we all want in our life and in our relationships, and that is respect, love, and admiration for each other. Our 2005 Union College football team is a memory and a miracle that we will never forget and always cherish. Congratulations to the players and coaches. You did this for each other and with each other. Thank you for all you have done for this fine college and its great football program. Thank you. Thank you.
So congrats to the 2005 team, the 88 team, and all of our inductees. I want to thank everybody for being here today, for the overwhelming support that you saw for these terrific individuals and teams. So one last round of applause for this group, and thanks for being here. So we do want to make sure that we get photos of all the individuals in the teams. So if the inductees and teams can come up to the front. Also pick up your gifts that are up here, and have a great afternoon, everyone. Thank you.